You know, one of the things that we love to do here is Skype to some of our old Norwood High folks. And ironically, or coincidentally, the last Skype I had was Anthony Zona, who is right behind the camera right now. And so we caught him while he was still down at the University of Florida. And now joining us is a friend, Anthony Rodriguez, who is going to join us from Northeastern University. Anthony, are you there?
I'm here. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. So, you know, my daughter was a classmate of Anthony, so I'm very familiar with Anthony's work. And, you know, what people probably don't know is the success you've had performing with the Northeasters at Northeastern University. And we'll get to that. But where did you get your start? How did you start performing? How did you get the love for it?
Actually, I started in fifth grade with your daughter. We did a production of Alice in Wonderland, and it was my first time ever performing for an audience. And I was the White Rabbit, and Megan was Alice. And I remember being so nervous for the show to go on, and but once I was on stage, it just felt so natural, and it felt like kind of like a second home. And then from there, I just got really involved with drama and with singing in middle school and then high school. You know, I was in the madrigals in high school and did all the musicals there. And so then when trying to pick a school, I wanted to go someplace that had a way for me to channel, you know, my love for music and my love for performing. And being at Northeastern with the Nor'easters, it's given me just that. So yeah.
So now that you're famous, I can tell people I saw your very first performance. So how about that?
Oh,
So
gosh,
just
sure.
talk about some of the other roles that you had through high school that you enjoyed, through middle school and high school for that matter.
Yeah. So some of my roles in sixth grade, I played JoJo in Seussical, which was really fun to play. And it was actually the first time that like actually sang, because being the White Rabbit in fifth grade, it was like talk singing, but it was still really fun. But it was nice to be able to take on a role that was a little bit more challenging. And then, you know, in high school, I did West Side Story, which was one of my favorite musicals of all time. You know my dad. He's
Yeah.
Puerto Rican, so he's very proud and loud. And that musical is something that he grew up with seeing. So by proxy, I grew up seeing it as well. And you know, I loved being able to play Tony in that. And you know, I was in The Music Man, and I was in a barbershop quartet for
Oh,
that.
yeah,
And
that
then
was
I
good.
did Thoroughly Modern Millie. And yeah, there's just some really great stuff throughout high school and middle
So
school.
you go to Northeastern. So Leonard Bernstein, who wrote West Side Story, went to high school right around the corner from me. He went to Boston Latin School, which is right around the corner from
Yeah,
Northeastern. A little
yeah.
tidbit. So now tell me about the Northeasters. You were looking forward to being on the Northeasters way before you went to Northeastern.
Yeah, so my mom works at Northeastern, and she's worked there for 30 years.
She's not
And
that old. She couldn't possibly have worked there for 30 years. You can tell her I
yeah,
said that.
she looks great for her age. But yeah, so she showed me YouTube videos of the group when I was in high school because she wanted me to go to the school she works at, and Boston was like, a second home to me. So it felt natural to go to that school. But after seeing YouTube videos of this group perform and hearing some of the stuff that they had on Spotify and iTunes, they had released some albums before, and I just fell in love with the group. I fell in love with their sound, and it was so different from anything that I'd ever experienced. And a cappella is very big in college, but it's not really big in high school. So it was really cool to kind of look up to these people and then go to Northeastern and then get into the group that I'd idolized for a lot of
So
high school.
tell us about some of the experiences that you've had with that group.
Yeah. So it's insane. We've done a lot in the 3 years that I've been in the group. I remember the first month that I got into the group, the president was like, "So we're recording a studio album next month. So we got to pick some songs, and you guys are going to be in a professional recording studio, having your voice be heard from thousands of people that can have access to it from iTunes and Spotify." And actually, my first ever solo with the group was on this album, "Writings on the Wall," by Sam Smith. So it was so cool. That was like the first few weeks of being in the group. And then my second year in the group, we competed in the ICCA, which stands for the International Collegiate Championship of Acapella. So it's basically like the Super Bowl of acapella. and there's groups that compete in this competition from all around the world. And we made it all the way to finals in New York City at the Beacon Theater, which is a stage that the Beatles have performed at, that Bruce Springsteen, all these really big famous artists have performed on. We performed on it and we won the entire competition. And I was honored enough to receive the award for outstanding soloist for my song "Writings on the Wall." That my group sings, but I solo on, and that was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. And then because we won that, we were able to compete in the Acapella Open, which was at Carnegie Hall. And so singing amongst other amazing groups, and we came in second for that, second place, which was an honor. And just being able to perform at Carnegie Hall is a once in a lifetime thing. So it was super fun. We've traveled domestically. We're actually planning a trip to London this spring break, so we'll be touring London, which is insane. Singing for the people there, and we have some events that we're singing at, and we're gonna meet up with other a cappella groups in Oxford and in Cambridge and in London. So it's gonna be great.
It's too bad they don't have that show on. Remember the Sing Off? I think that was the name of it. That was
Yeah,
all a cappella groups, right?
yeah, yeah.
There was one from Massachusetts, North Shore Acapella, that went pretty far in it at one time.
Ah,
But it's funny,
yeah, I've seen that show.
my limited knowledge of acapella, when I first started listening to it, I thought it was all like doo-wop kind of stuff, and it's certainly evolved from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so my group actually definitely does a different rendition of what you might think a cappella is. When I was in the barbershop quartet, that's kind of how a cappella was started in a
Right.
way. It started with groups like that, in quartets or quintets. And then now in college, it's really evolved. People are doing more pop, more edgy, wearing all black. And so, yeah, it's very different, but all fun.
So I know that's not all you do at Northeastern. So tell us about your academic pursuits while we have you.
Yeah, so I'm majoring in psychology with a concentration in education and business. So I came into Northeastern wanting to be a teacher, but and I still would love to be a teacher, and that's my senior year of high school I wanted to. My grandfather actually, and Andrew Cialetta, was the principal of the Balch School for 30 years, and he worked in elementary ed, and that's something that I always wanted to do. But as my career has progressed with psychology, I've been really interested in the business side of it, like with human resources and industrial and organizational psychology. So I'm kind of figuring out a way to pair those two in some way, but we'll see. I'm actually going on co-op next semester. If you're not familiar with Northeastern's like policy or whatever, you do internships while you're studying undergrad. So every other semester you work full time. So my first co-op was in the Brookline Public Schools, which was awesome. I worked with in a K through 8 school, kind of worked in the classroom and worked in the cafeteria and did everything. And then this next co-op, I'm working in the corporate world, and I will be working at Liberty Mutual in Back Bay, doing human resources.
Oh, good. That's a great.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I love about Northeastern, and in my job I use co-ops all the time, and I look at it as this is a 6-month interview, and both
Yeah.
when I was at the IG's office and now at the school building authority, I've hired co-ops. Kids that co-op for me are now employees. So it's a great program, and you get to figure out if what you think you like you really like.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So what are you doing? Anything special for Christmas with the group, or did you do all that stuff? You're in finals now, right?
Yeah, so I'm in finals week right now, which is why I couldn't come to Norwood. And my sister's kind of upset with me. She's a junior in high school, and she has her big winter concert tonight at the high school. She's in the madrigals, as just like I was, and they're doing the Hallelujah chorus tonight and everything, so it'll be good. But I definitely will be in Norwood, so I might see you, maybe run into you driving down the streets. I don't live that far from you, but yeah, I'm gonna be definitely enjoying the holidays with my family. But Nor'easters, we had a big show yesterday, actually, or was yesterday Monday?
Today's
2 days,
Wednesday.
2 days ago. Sorry, finally. So Monday we had a big show, and commemorated we released part one of our newest album. It's titled Collective. You can get it on Spotify and iTunes. And we had a show to commemorate that release. as well as celebrate 20 years of existence. So the Nor'easters have been around now for 20 years, which is pretty awesome. And we had a big alumni event on Sunday, so a lot of the founder of our group was there. It was super fun, and we recently released a single of "Carol of the Bells." It's
Oh, cool. Yeah.
holiday song, so we performed that. So getting in the holiday spirit that way, but it's hard to focus on that because I have an exam tomorrow, but gonna get through it.
All right.
And then
Well, I don't want to keep you then. Get back to studying. Thanks so much for being with us. If I don't see you, have a Merry Christmas.
You
And
too.
tell me the name of the song you won the award again for.
Writings on the Wall by
Okay,
Sam
well,
Smith.
we're gonna leave you and play that rendition of Writing on the Wall right now. So thanks for being with us. Good luck on your final tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
And so here it is, Anthony and the Nor'easters. Roll it, baby.
I've been here before, but always hit the floor. I've spent a lifetime